Welcome, y'all.
Hey, Sherri.
Hey, Tammy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well.
You gave me a little hint on the story this week. You said gory and a little funny.
Yeah, a little funny.
I like that. Two good things.
Yeah.
That's what we live for on this show, right?
That's how I make it through life.
That's it. You got to laugh. So I'll tell you my Tammy's faux pas of the week story to make you laugh.
Okay.
Main reason why we're not on camera today.
Oh, shoot.
I decided, I was complimenting you so much on your lashes last time you were here.
Oh, no.
I decided I was going to go get, I don't know what they're called. The actual lashes.
Extensions.
Okay. I was going to get extensions. So I went yesterday. Oh, I feel like I need to sneeze. It won't come out. There we go.
Goodness.
Excuse me. Part of why I sneezed is going to play into this story too.
Okay.
So I got the lashes. They looked fabulous. I went to lunch. By the time I was done with lunch, my left eye was as red as this Coke Zero can.
Oh, no.
And watering. And it felt like sand was in my eye. And I drove straight to the lash place. And by that time, the other eye was starting to get red and watery. So we think I was having an allergic reaction to the glue in the lashes. But I was just like, please take them off because they're driving me. And like the first hour, I couldn't even feel them. It was great. They looked awesome, just a little bit. It wasn't like mega lash, but so the girl was like, I'm so sorry. Let me wax and tint your eyebrows for you.
Well, your eyebrows do look awesome.
Thank you. I've never had it done before, so that was my first time. I think I liked getting them shaped up and
since
pretty.
You get your hair done regularly,
I should tell my lady to put my hair color on there.
If I go someplace to get my hair done, which is rare because I am spastic, and if I want something done, I want it then.
Right now.
If I go someplace to get my hair colored, instead of, getting the mix from Sally's, they color my brows too because they are skin tone.
Yeah. Mine are turning gray. So. Yeah. Anyway, that's my faux pas story of the week.
Yeah,
I guess
but we're not living
really
on love anymore. That's a good thing.
That's right.
I'll put up with a few gray eyebrows.
Yes, yes. Life is much simpler. I will trade a few gray eyebrows.
Yeah.
So, anywho, my eyes are bloodshot, and I just look like I have a terrible case of pink eye in both my eyes.
Yeah. At first, I just thought it was because not to make the rest of the country feel bad. But even though it's still February here, South Louisiana has hit full spring.
Yeah, we're in allergy season right now.
Yeah, but it also means it's nice and warm. It's been sunny for 4 or 5 days straight?
Like up to the 80s, I think we got.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful. I'm like getting the pool ready.
Harold loves it too. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. Anything new before we start the story?
I don't think so.
All right. I don't think there's anything new for me other than my lash fiasco. So, if you're...
Oh, wait. This will probably come out before St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yes, it should.
Well, if you happen to be in Denham Springs on St. Patrick's weekend, that Saturday, Denham is having a St. Patrick's parade, and I will be in it.
That's awesome.
So, y'all come out and catch some cabbages.
Do y'all throw potatoes too, I think?
Yes, ma'am. Potatoes, cabbages, carrots, whatever I can peg you right in the solar plexus with.
Well, go out there and get a cabbage thrown at you. You could catch dinner.
Yeah,
that's
the whole point.
Yeah. Just throw little cans of like corned beef out there too.
No, I think that might be a little overboard. I might catch a charge for that.
Yeah, you might. Okay, so tell me this gory, humorous.
Okay, well, what I did was I understand that this is a sign of mental illness or trauma. Y'all, I get it. So don't even bother with the 150 emails. But when I was a kid, we had terrorists back then, just like we do now, but it was different. They would come in to banks or they'd come into a restaurant.
Yeah.
It was all these Eastern Bloc terrorists.
Yeah.
So ever since I was a kid, I've always like looked around when I went into a room, scouted out all the exits, and anything I could possibly use as a weapon that was already right there.
You go, girl.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm talking.
I just walk into the room like, la, 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 here I am.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that never sit with my back to a door.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, and I had a little brother, and, you know, like my big fear when I was little is that somebody was going to hurt him. So I was going to protect him at all costs.
You were just on point 24/7.
24/7. Yeah, I had ulcers early. But that kind of got me thinking about, all right, so I had thought of all of these things that you could kill somebody with. What's the weirdest murder weapons?
Oh.
So I brought y'all quite a few.
I am so excited for this.
And, you know, so I took everything, pretty much anything that was just you grabbed it and beat somebody to death with it. That's not interesting.
Okay.
I took out any of the kids.
Okay.
Didn't want any kids' stories.
Yep.
And so I brought y'all just a handful of them because we have really had some weird ways to. Oh, and I didn't bring any like medieval torture stuff because they were weirdly interesting.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Yeah, like, you know.
The stretching rack always.
The stretching rack.
Got me.
The thing where they would put mice in a pot and heat it up and have them try to. It was weird.
Okay, I don't even want to know what was going on with that shit.
Okay, so this one, we're going to start. Wasn't as odd because I'm sure almost any woman has ever thought about this. It's a stiletto.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a metal fingernail file.
Oh, no, but that would be good. And I'm sure it's been used.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right here in the neck.
And see, that was another thing. If I've seen it on like Law and Order too many times.
Okay.
I took that off.
Took that off.
Yeah.
You just wanted the most bizarros.
Yeah, the really most bizarre. All right.
A stiletto. It's got to be red too, I think.
It might have been. I should have pulled a picture of this one. I should have. But Ana Trujillo.
Okay.
Okay, she was a Mexican immigrant living in the Houston area, Harris County, living with a Swedish immigrant.
All right.
Who happened to be a pretty wealthy man. I mean, she was living the high life. He was a professor and a biochemist.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just any stiletto.
No, it wasn't.
It was a Jimmy Choo stiletto.
She had some of those. So, but this couple, there was, you know, some toxicity in their relationship. They were both major drinkers. Before they'd gotten together, they'd both had multiple alcohol-related run-ins with the law.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, his were public intoxication, drunken driving.
Yeah.
Kind of normal stuff. Hers were a little different.
What else?
She would get drunk and beat on people.
Wow.
She got drunk one time and went into somebody else's apartment to take a poop.
Oh.
And they didn't say whether she was taking a poop where she should, or if she just, you know, popped a squat in the living room.
Right in the middle of the living room.
Yeah. Or if she was one of those, because, you know, they got those girls whose bellies don't work right after a couple of drinks, or if she just laid down, went to sleep, and pooped all over the place.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, y'all have seen the videos.
Yeah.
Okay. So, although she did own Louboutins.
Oh.
After a night of drink, and actually it was a whole day and night of drinking.
Nice.
They had been out having like mimosas at brunch.
Started early.
And then just went from brunch to dinner, drinking some more, and then from dinner to a bar, and got a cab home. In the cab ride, the cabbie said that she was being a little beehole the whole way there. She was being combative and he was kind of relaxed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's this big, giant, drunken Swede. He's just chilling. Okay, so she gets home, and obviously they had an argument, or the argument continued. she picks up her Cupid. She didn't use one of her good shoes.
Oh, okay. She got the Walmart special out.
Well, it was a little better. It was about $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
so a
right.
little better than the Walmart special.
You needed enough sturdiness and enough integrity in the shoe to actually commit a crime with it. So maybe a Walmart shoe wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it wouldn't really do it. This
Right.
had a big metal rod running through the inside of the heel.
Oh, nice.
She hit him in the head 25 times
Oh,
with
my
it.
gosh.
Mm-hmm. Now, she did try to claim self-defense.
I didn't see 25 times coming. I'll tell you that.
I know. I mean,
That's
this wasn't
a lot.
just pick it up and got mad. I mean, she
was skull crushing him.
Yeah. And so she tried to say self-defense, but he had 0 injuries. And she had 0 injuries.
I was
and
like,
he
wait.
had a few defensive wounds and then
Okay.
the 25 to the head.
Mm.
So, no. So Texas gave her life. And look, this isn't even that old of a crime. This was like 2012. She did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11 years ago. That's not, yeah.
Yeah, that's not real.
Mm-mm.
Nope, she just got convicted in 2014.
Life
And
in
she's life in prison in a Texas prison.
Yeah.
So I always love it when Texas puts somebody. There's
Yes.
like Florida jails, Louisiana jails, Texas
Nice.
jails. You don't want to be there.
Right.
Okay, and then this one, and I titled some of these. This one's a bad baker.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to assume it's not a knife because that would be too easy.
Oh, yeah,
So
not a knife.
I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, and this, there's not a ton. None of these have a ton of information on them. There'd be little articles here and there.
Yeah.
And so there were 3 different articles on this. There's not a lot of information. I'm assuming there's some truth in this.
Okay.
Absolutely, the stiletto was true.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. Reginald Hemsley Dottingdale from England.
I was about to say he sounds British. That sounds like a British name.
And they actually say Sir Reginald Hemsley Dottingdale.
Oh, okay.
So he's not just British.
He's a lord.
He was found deceased with a huge lump and a crushed skull on the back of his head.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. And this was in 1988.
All right.
Okay. So Scotland Yard was investigating the deaths, and they were the alleged murder weapon in this was a lump of pumpernickel bread.
Gee, that had to be some stale ass bread.
Pumpernickel? I mean, have you eaten it?
I don't think so. It sounds like one of those grainy, earthy breads that
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
super dense.
I'm a bunny bread kind of girl.
It is super dense, and I guess if you overbake it and it gets stale, it's like a rock.
I was
And
going to say a brick, just like a brick.
the cop said it was
Wow.
super heavy and super hard.
Pumpernickel bread.
Yeah, so that's some bad baking led to that
Yes,
death.
no doubt. Maybe he made the bread and the person killed him with his own bread. That was so
Ooh.
terrible.
That he just, you screwed this up
Yeah.
so badly and ruined my dinner.
You had one job
Uh-huh.
and you fucked it up, and I'm going to kill you with this bread.
Maybe so.
Do you know if they caught the person who did it?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
And, that being Scotland Yard in the late 80s,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got no clue.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good, but I'm not
Yeah.
that good. Okay, and then I got another reason to be scared of banjos.
All right.
Okay, so, all of us, we hear that because of the movie Deliverance.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to run.
Yeah.
But this is a whole nother reason. In 1991, Edward Benson, a 63-year-old bluegrass musician from West Milton, Ohio, killed his wife, Katie. He picked up one banjo, beat her till he shattered that banjo, picked up the other one,
Wow.
beat her until he broke that, and she was finally dead. He was found incompetent and sent to a hospital for the rest of his life.
Wow.
And it kind of seems like maybe there was some other deaths in the family, so it might have been some genetic mental issues.
Were there other banjo-related deaths in the family?
No, but looking up his name in the general area, but at a time and at an age that were not right,
Yeah.
was somebody else with his name that had done a murder-suicide on his family.
Oh.
So there may have been some like
mental
serious
health issues.
mental health issues. And I know we're kind of laughing at this, but...
Well, a banjo, I have not personally touched a banjo before, but they look like a very heavy instrument.
They're heavier than a guitar.
Guitar, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're not like 40 pounds or anything.
I feel like if
but you can get some swing on it. That long neck with, the ball at the end.
Like a guitar, I'm not talking about the electric guitar. Like, I'm talking about the old school wooden guitars or whatever. Like, I feel like if you hit somebody with that, it would just break the
Most
guitar.
Of the time. Yeah. I mean, you could possibly kill somebody with it if you got it just right, but that would shatter. A banjo...
I feel like that thing...
If you're going with a regular acoustic banjo and not an electric one, they're somewhat light, but they've got a strong frame.
Mm.
And then if it's electric, it can be anything.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. As soon as I said, heard that he hit her with his banjo, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
A guitar's a lot cheaper. And I'm like, already that lets me know he's crazy.
Yeah. Don't destroy your banjo.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I have had to buy so many instruments for my kids. Mm-hmm. I am well aware of how much that hurts. Okay, and then this next one I called Just Desserts.
Oh.
Okay.
A baked Alaskan in there.
Yeah, I guess you could kill somebody with a cherries jubilee pretty easy. But this one was Richard Clare escaped from a rehab facility in Herefordshire, England. And I think I got that right.
Good.
Yeah, because they're as bad as South Louisiana
for pronunciations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, then y'all can call it Atchafalaya. and I won't send y'all an email either. Okay, so he escaped from that facility and he needed some money. So he looked up his friend, Timothy McGee, who owed him some.
Okay,
kind of smart. You're on the run a little bit. When they said escaped from, I'm assuming somebody put him in there with, some legal authority.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a walkout.
Right.
Yeah. So Timothy refused to give him any money. So Richard got a little pissy, picked up the dessert spoon off the table, hit his buddy in the back of the head with it, but he must have caught him just right. It ruptured an artery.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
A spoon. The guy...
Just pop,
yeah. Oh my gosh. It must have been just his time to go.
Man.
Because, it's not like... We're not talking about a wooden spoon.
Should have gave him the $100, man, or however much it was.
Yeah, 50 pounds or whatever, And maybe I was kind of thinking that maybe Timothy might have also been a drug addict.
Well, when you said he had a friend that owed him money, I immediately thought this friend's probably not a good guy because he
owes an addict money,
right? They're running in the same crowd, basically.
And alcohol and drugs both kind of rip apart your circulatory system.
Yeah.
So it may have been just that the next time he slept crooked,
he could have. Yeah.
But still,
dessert spoon.
Spoon. All right. And this one's a Louisiana story.
Nice.
And I titled it, Gonna Kick His Butt One Way or the Other.
Is there an alligator involved in this story?
No.
Okay.
No. There's a prosthetic leg involved in this story. Okay, so Deborah Sue Hewitt was a homeless woman living in Lafayette, Louisiana. Okay, so she had 2 boyfriends at the time.
Good for her.
Do not tell me you can't find anybody.
If you're homeless.
This homeless woman has 2
boyfriends.
And so she and one of them got together, and I think the victim here was getting jealous. So her other boyfriend grabbed him around the neck. She stabbed him in the leg with something. And then after the other boyfriend released him, she proceeded to stomp him with her prosthetic leg, then took her leg off
And beat him about the head with
and
it.
beat him to death with her prosthetic leg. I couldn't find how she lost her other leg, but I gotta bet there's a huge story there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she ended up with life in prison. And
well, she's not homeless anymore.
She's not homeless anymore. And she actually like waived sentencing.
Yeah.
Because in Louisiana, we had some pretty... She knew she had been caught.
Take me and my prosthetic leg and just put me in jail.
Yeah.
I need 3 hots and a cot every day.
She went through with getting convicted.
Yeah.
But whenever it's murder in Louisiana, it is just a formality. You're going for life.
Yeah.
And it's going to be true life.
Yeah.
But the only like thing that ticks me off really about this one is that she had previously been implicated in 2 other murders.
Wow.
One of them, they dropped the charges, and the other one, they reduced it to like accessory to manslaughter after the fact.
She's been in jail before.
She's been in jail before, and she should have still been in jail.
Yeah.
So this guy didn't have to.
Wow. I wonder if her other homeless boyfriend comes and visits her in jail.
I don't know.
The one that's still alive.
Yeah, I guess if he could get a ride over here. Because it's on this side of the state, the ladies' penitentiary. Okay, and this one, Poppy gave me this title. Because I normally don't talk to him about my stories. But these were just little funny snippets.
Yeah.
This one we'll call, and it didn't result in death. So this is,
okay. That's good.
The Notorious VAG.
Okay.
Sorry,
have you
y'all.
seen, there's a show on TV that is called Sex Sent Me to the Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going down the right path?
You
with
are
this?
going down the right path, but I need to watch that show because that would be worth...
I didn't even know that you could break a penis.
Yeah, you can.
I just figured it was not something that was actually breakable, but yeah.
You can break a penis.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that'll give you a heart attack if you make your penis work better.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Notorious VAG.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess Brazil has some rules on listing victims
Okay.
because...
You couldn't find the name.
Yeah, no names, lots of descriptions. And I'm going to actually read one paragraph from the article simply because, oh no, it's not this one. So anyhow, this guy is a 43-year-old guy from São José do Rio Preto, Brazil.
All right.
Again, I messed that up. I don't care. I don't speak Portuguese. Okay. It's not even in my top 5 languages.
Okay.
So, because I speak a lot of English, a little French, a tiny bit of Spanish, a tiny bit of Italian. Portuguese is so far down my list.
That's it.
It's not going to happen. So anyhow, this couple, 43-year-old man, I think it was a 41-year-old wife. Their marriage was ending, as they sometimes do.
Right.
So she comes up with a plan to get rid of him.
Just divorce him.
She puts poison in her vagina.
Oh my God. It's so stupid.
And entices him to perform cunnilingus on her.
Okay.
Okay. He gets down there and gets started, and he's like, something's wrong.
Girl, you need to run a rag over that VAG.
Takes them both to the hospital. There was enough poison in her vagina to kill both of them.
Did she not think that her body would absorb that?
I know. What the heck?
Wow.
That's not skin there, baby. That's a little different.
Yeah.
So, and the last I found on this story is she was facing attempted murder charges, and both of them are okay.
Okay, good.
They did save them from their poisoning, and they didn't list the kind of poison, but still.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, this tastes funny.
Yeah, that's what happened. He was like, ooh, something's wrong.
You need to get this checked out.
How funny is it that you take somebody to the ER?
Yeah. Well, how did she talk a man that she's getting divorced from into doing that? That's how I could see her talking him into having sex.
Yeah.
But that?
Maybe you do me, I'll do you.
Oh, okay. Maybe
it's really not that hard.
One for the road.
One for the road. Or, maybe, don't you remember how it used to be? Maybe we could get it there again.
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
maybe so.
Because I don't think they had separated yet.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
They were just, I got you.
Just in the, that stage. Okay, and this one I titled, What's in a Name?
All right.
Because after I heard about the story, I went to look the guy up. His name is James Harris.
Okay.
Turns out there's a lot of James Harris murderers.
Really?
I was having to scroll through James Harris murderers to get to the one I wanted.
We could have a whole James Harris episode.
We could. That was freaky. Because some of these, they have other people named after them or they're named after other people. One of them was a famous bishop that wrote new rules, back in the 1700s. Sometimes people get named after famous people.
Right.
But James Harris seems to be, maybe you should avoid naming your child James if your last name is Harris. Let's just skip
Good
that
advice.
one. Okay, so James Harris held James Garrity. I never saw that he actually kidnapped him. I think he might have just been at his apartment.
Okay.
Held James Garrity for 2 days, torturing him. Then he shot him in the stomach. And then he decapitated him with a guitar string.
Oh.
That's kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see, and I imagine that's not the only time a guitar string's been used to murder somebody.
Yeah.
They're strong. You can make a garrote out of them.
Yes. When you brought up banjo earlier, I initially thought it was going to be took the string off and did something. That's crazy.
But to go all the way, we're not talking about cutting off air. We're talking about cutting off a head.
You're going through bone and ligaments and muscle and...
Absolutely. And the whole thing. Then this weirdo keeps the head for 2 years for some sort of religious purposes. Although he never defined what religion it is.
Yeah.
2 years.
In the freezer or something, I guess?
I sure hope so. Or he boiled it down.
Ew.
Got rid of it. Because otherwise, yuck.
Gross.
Just the smell. Constant smell.
Yeah. Ugh.
Okay. The suckiest part, because that's not the suckiest part.
Okay.
Kansas only gave him 4 years in the penitentiary for this.
What?
There was some kind of problems with the case, and they pled it out.
Oh, my gosh.
I am thinking that Garrity may have been a guy who is considered less dead. He might have been somebody who didn't have family that'll push for him.
Or he was in a high-risk lifestyle and didn't. Yeah, maybe so. That's sad.
That is very sad.
I'm assuming the dude's out now.
Yeah, probably so. Unless he did somebody in jail too. And
I don't hope he killed anybody in jail, but at least he would stay in there if he did.
Yeah. Okay.
Sicko.
And that might have been part of it because they didn't specify in the article. Sometimes they'll plead something that low just to give them some time when they've already got another crime where they're already serving 20.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just to give the family a little something.
Yeah.
But they don't go through the whole, multi-million-dollar death penalty trial.
Right.
Okay. This is kind of a side note on something I found out recently.
Tell me.
Back in 1990, we had one qualified, certified exorcist in the entire country.
And I'm assuming that person was qualified, certified through the Catholic Church.
Through the Catholic Church, through the Vatican.
Yes.
We had one.
That doesn't seem like enough.
And now, because of the rise in paganism,
America
America now has 150.
Oh.
Okay, we're not sending people where I say we, I'm not Catholic, but the
Right.
Catholic Church is not sending people where there's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And keeping in mind that 1990, when we had that one, that was in the middle of the satanic panic. So this is not a result of satanic panic. This is a result of some
Something's going on.
woo-woo bullcrap right now.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is that I went and re-looked up this statistic because I heard one from like 2019 that said 87. So they've doubled the number
Wow.
in
Yeah.
the last 5 years. So just a little interesting side note.
Keep your head on a swivel for the
Yeah.
for
Okay.
the possessions.
Yeah, for the possessions. And maybe put the Ouija board down. Drop the crystals in the incense. Just saying. It might be smart. Okay. And on that note, I got somebody who got a straight ticket to hell.
Okay.
Okay. So, on Christmas Day 2008, Karen Walsh drank a bottle of vodka and lashed out at Marie Rankin, her next door neighbor.
I was going to say, who's she to her? Next door neighbor.
Who was 81. And this was in the early morning hours. So I'm thinking old lady was probably knocking on the wall saying, knock it off.
Yeah.
I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to imagine that a bottle of vodka is not leading to a quiet drunk.
No. A whole bottle.
Okay, so she goes over there, beats this old woman to death with a crucifix.
What?
Yeah.
Dang.
Straight ticket to hell, because it's already Christmas Day.
Yes.
Then she uses a crucifix.
She's checking all the hell boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Every box.
Okay, and then Rankin wanted to go to Catholic Mass that night for the Christmas Eve service, but was too sick. So she wasn't just 81. She was a sick 81-year-old.
Don't mess with old people.
The crucifix had been one of Miss Rankin's wedding presents from 50-something years ago.
I was going to say, did she beat her with her own crucifix?
Her own crucifix. And then after she realized what she had done, she decides to make it look like something else. So she rips her nightgown, rapes her with it. She's dead. Thank God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so
That's terrible.
Karen Walsh ended up with 20 years in prison, which is about as long as you get in Great Britain.
Yeah. That's true. They don't
do the whole thing.
They don't do the life thing.
No, they don't. Yeah, and
That's terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to tell other evil people that that's what I was in jail.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, nobody's going to fuck with you in jail if you tell them that's what you did. That's for sure.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, and then we got one I titled, because this is what most of the men would say, what a way to go.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the one that I'm going to read the article on. A woman in Everett, Washington, is accused of smothering her boyfriend to death with her chest during an argument. Donna Lang, a 50-year-old Everett, Washington woman, is accused of smothering her boyfriend to death by lying on his face, according to CBS affiliate KIRO reports. Deputies said, I had to put this because where it happens tells you most of what you need to know about these people. Deputies said they were called to the Airport Inn trailer park at about 1 a.m. on Saturday at a report of a disturbance where medics were performing CPR on the 51-year-old man, who was later pronounced dead at the hospital.
She got some tig old bitties, huh?
She got some tig old bitties. Okay. And that was CBS News. So we know this happened.
Right.
But I can't find anything since. And they never named the victim. And I looked at about 15 articles.
Oh, wow.
And then looked her up and looked her up and looked her up. And
I mean,
poof.
If she were a serial killer, they'd probably call her the titty killer.
Oh, yeah.
Something stupid like that.
They were kind of calling her that anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And 50-year-old titties ain't perky anymore either. So he was probably.
no, and I think they might have been fake on top of it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
They were comically large.
okay.
They
Did you see pictures?
I saw pictures.
Oh, my gosh.
She was like, yeah, they were comically large.
Okay.
Well, he was 5'7" and only about 115 pounds.
Bless his little heart.
Now, I did hear other heights and weights, but they were all in British articles, which they would talk about stones and then pounds and then meters and then inches. So I went with the American
There you go.
article's height and weight.
He was a smaller man.
He was a tiny guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what a way to go.
And she was 5'9" with this ridiculous chest.
Okay.
But the fact that they're middle-aged and they live in the Airport Inn trailer park told you a lot right there.
Yep.
And they had been arguing all night. She had thrown him down a few times in front of witnesses.
Sorry.
No,
Bless his heart.
I know. Look, and I know there are women that abuse. I know women that abuse their men.
Yes.
And then cry a little bit and get away with it.
Yes.
Cops will come take the man away instead of the woman. I know this is a problem. But the titties of it all.
Right. Yes.
That's what makes it funny. And so they had seen him, they'd seen her like doing this to him that
she
night.
She didn't just automatically just plop her titties down it. There was some events that led up to this.
And it was obviously something she liked to do in a fight with this guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, later, and her defense was that she didn't kill him. She just passed out on top of him because they'd been drinking.
Maybe they weren't fighting. Maybe they were at the make-up point of the fight.
Maybe. And he motorboated her aggressively, and she didn't notice when he calmed down.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right.
Okay. And so I have no idea if this went to trial or if she got convicted. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That would be another hard one to tell people.
I killed him with my titties.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then Poppy gave me this title.
All right.
Because this is what came out of his face as soon as I told him the beginnings of this. He came and went the same way. Okay. So Ramon Navarro was already a major star in the silent film era.
Okay.
Okay. And then when Rudolph Valentino died, Ramon kind of took the place of Rudolph.
Became the big guy,
became
the star.
The pretty, you know, the gorgeous, the one the women swooned over guy.
Yeah.
And then whenever talkies came out, he worked a lot less, just like Rudolph Valentino.
Yeah.
These guys didn't know how to use their voice. They knew how to use their face.
Right.
But he did stay kind of busy doing TV later.
Okay.
Like a couple of the shows, even though this was the 50s and 60s, I've actually heard of, like High Chaparral.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of that too.
He did a lot of parts on High Chaparral.
Okay.
So, I mean, he...
Semi pretty famous for back then.
Yeah. And he also became really wealthy by investing in LA real estate. I don't know how much you know about LA, but it was nothing until Hollywood.
And then...
So somebody that started in talkies had the opportunity to buy nothing land.
Yeah.
And sell it for
a lot
later. And so, yeah, that's what this guy did. He lived in a Lloyd Wright house. He was the son of Frank Lloyd Wright, the very famous architect.
Right.
Okay, but he was gay.
Oh, all right.
Okay, not something that went over well through the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s.
The women are supposed to swoon over you.
Yes. They do not want to think about how you're spending your time.
Right.
Okay. So he, because of this, typically paid for sex.
Okay.
So on October 30th, 1968, he called a couple of guys over to party. They were young. They were too young. I mean, one of them was 17.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, I guess beggars can't be choosers when you're picking out gay gigolos.
I mean, in that time, no.
Yeah. And 17 was kind of a grown-up.
Probably more considered a grown-up back then than it would be today, even.
Yeah, I mean, I had my first apartment at 16.
Yeah.
So, All right. And so they were brothers, and they had heard that Ramon kept a lot of cash in the house. A whole lot. So they spent the night, several hours. They tied him up. They were torturing him.
Wow.
They were beating on him.
Poor little thing. He just wants some loving.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had an antique dildo made out of lead. And the brother shoved it down his throat. And he choked to death because it kind of tore his throat. He choked to death on his own blood.
An antique dildo.
An antique dildo. One of the articles I read was that Rudolph Valentino gave it to him.
Wow.
So some kinky Hollywood history, but that's why David said
he came and went
the same way.
Those are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a little different than my deep dives.
I want to say my favorite was probably the pumpernickel bread.
That was
so bizarre.
That was hilarious. Yeah, and bizarre. And the fact that it obviously was real.
I mean, I think you could kill someone if you shoved fresh bread down their throat and suffocated them.
Yeah, when I heard pumpernickel, I assumed a poisoning.
But I would have never thought that you could actually beat someone to death with bread.
Yeah.
So that was a good one.
That was a good one. And I think that the poison for JJ was...
Yeah.
Was...
That had to be the stupidest one on her part. I'm going to stick this poison in me.
If it had worked, they would have both gone out.
She had no sense.
No.
Awesome. Do you want to hear some funny laws?
Absolutely.
Keep the funny train rolling.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're at Rhode Island on our list.
Okay, Rhode Island is like square miles.
There's only 3 for Rhode Island. So the tiny state has a tiny list.
They don't even have enough room to hold the paperwork for all these laws.
This is in Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
It is illegal to sell toothpaste and a toothbrush to the same customer on a Sunday. What the actual? I would get the toothpaste and use my finger as my toothbrush if I didn't have a toothbrush.
I'm thinking that was like, I remember blue laws when I was little.
Yeah.
You could only buy absolute necessities, and maybe they were thinking some people are just putting this off. There's no way they ran out of both of them on the same day.
Yeah. Oh.
But still, that's a stupid thing to put on paper.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. It is illegal to keep a flock of chickens in your motorhome if you live in a trailer park.
Okay.
If you don't...
You or I could keep a flock of chickens in their motorhome.
Yep, we could.
Okay.
We don't live in a trailer park.
Mm-mm.
It is considered an offense to throw pickle juice on a trolley. I don't know if that means if you're on the trolley and you're throwing pickle juice while you're riding the trolley, or if you're standing on the side of the road and you throw pickle juice and hit a trolley.
How could that possibly be enough of a problem to make a law?
In a tiny little state.
Yeah.
Everybody's throwing pickle juice at trolleys, I guess, on trolleys. Okay. Want to go to South Carolina? How about that?
I love some South Carolina. That's where some of my people are from.
All right. Let's see how they fare in their laws. If a man promises to marry an unmarried woman, the marriage must take place.
That's not uncommon.
With a shotgun or without? No.
No, I mean, like, you could...
If you promise, you're doing it.
It wasn't that long ago where you could sue somebody if they promised to marry you and they didn't. They could have to majorly pay.
Well, you can't get away with it in South Carolina.
You're going to get jailed there. You're not just going to have to pay.
Right. Every adult male must bring a rifle to church on Sunday in order to ward off Indian attacks.
I could understand that.
Obviously a very old law. All right. This one is weird. In Fountain Inn, South Carolina, horses are to wear pants at all times.
What do horse pants look like?
I don't know. Is it just 2 legs in the back to cover the wiener and the butt, or is it all 4 legs?
I don't know. I
don't know. But right after that, the next one is horses may not be kept in bathtubs. So they got to have pants on, and you can't keep them in bathtubs.
Okay, so a little bit like a person, but not all the way.
And we've had so many states with some type of animal not being allowed to be kept in a bathtub. What the fuck is going on that people are putting alligators and donkeys and horses and lions?
We had like 4 where they said you can't put a goat or a donkey in a bathtub.
Yeah. Why is that?
I have to look that up.
Okay. Merchandise may not be sold within, this sounds like a blue law. Merchandise may not be sold within a half mile of a church unless it's fruit that is being sold. So you can't sell anything within a half a mile of a church unless it's fruit.
Yeah, now we're down to you just can't sell your tatas within a half mile of. In most places, that's a rule. You can't have like a strip club or a bar. Within
school or a church or a playground. All right, musical instruments may not be sold on Sunday.
Okay, that kind of sucks.
This is no work may be done on Sunday. An exception is that light bulbs may be sold. So you can open the general store on Sunday to sell light bulbs only. It sounds like. Only.
I wonder who was powerful enough to get their one item that they happen to have, stock in as the exception.
Yeah. On Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, very
nice place,
common name there. It's illegal to shine a flashlight on a sea turtle.
That's a really important law.
Tell me.
Sea turtles follow the moon to the ocean. And so
you can confuse the shit out of them.
They also make them turn off their porch lights for all the beach facing properties. Turn off all the street lights at that time of year.
So that's not funny.
It's funny because somebody had to say, hey, don't harass the freaking turtles with a flashlight.
Yeah, I guess so.
So there was some butt bugger out there that thought that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
So, most of the time we don't have to make a law about it. We can just say, hey.
Common sense would dictate.
The turtles are moving tonight. Turn off your lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Performing a U-turn within 1,000 feet of an intersection is illegal.
Should be.
Railroad companies may be held liable in some instances for scaring horses.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And this is the last one.
Okay.
Spartanburg, South Carolina.
All right.
Eating watermelons in the Magnolia Street Cemetery is forbidden.
Oh my gosh. I'm not eating crap next to a bunch of dead bodies.
They do not want your seeds dropping on the ground, sprouting up in someone's grave, and growing watermelons. I'm assuming. That's why they have that law. Not in the Magnolia Street Cemetery.
You can go to the Birch Street Cemetery and do it, but not Magnolia.
Yep. Oak Street's fine as well.
I got a little bit of trivia that makes the no musical instruments on Sunday a bad idea.
Why?
Okay. So you know the song Silent Night?
Yes.
It came to be because the organ in a church had gotten chewed on by mice, and they were like air organs.
Yeah.
And the only instrument that was available was a guitar, which was generally not used in church services at the time because it was too humble.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a portable instrument, easy to move around. And so that day, Silent Night was written and performed for the Christmas Eve Mass.
Wow.
Yeah.
If only they had been able to buy an instrument.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
I love that. That was awesome. Something different.
Yeah.
And fun. And if y'all like that, and you're crazy like us, like gory, funny things, then help us out. Go to Patreon, Patreon/grits, and help support the show. We're on TikTok. This episode's not on YouTube. We don't have a camera switcher. Actually, it's because
they have
of
been
my
putting them up.
what?
Whenever we don't have a camera switcher,
Yeah,
they put graphics
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So it'll be on there. You just
be,
won't get to see all of our glory.
Yeah, that's it. You won't get to see my red eyes and,
and Sherri wearing old lady glasses with no makeup on.
All right. Anything else? Go to Facebook, join our group. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, whatever we're on. We're on all of it.
Yeah, listen, like, review, and make sure to resubscribe if you're on Apple.
Okay. Did they start something new?
Apple dropped all of your old settings with an update. And so people are not getting their automatic downloads.
Ah.
So make sure you go back and repair that.
Okay.
And I don't know how. I probably used the wrong terms.
Yeah.
But
that explains it. We've had a drop the last month.
That's exactly why.
Crazy drop in downloads.
Yeah. And so people are not because I use a different service. I think you use a different service.
I use Spotify, yeah.
I use my Amazon so that I can play my podcast on all my Alexas throughout the house.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a problem. And I don't exactly know how you're going to go back and get it, but I'm sure you people that use Apple can figure it out.
Yes, definitely. All right. We love y'all. Tell your mom and them to listen. And we're going to let Zydeco Mike take us out.